Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the secret to chalking in kettlebell. So a lot of people think that you need to spray down the handle and get it wet before you put the chalk on it. I don't do this because it makes the chalk kind of bumpy and rough, so it's more likely to rip your hand with whatever you're doing. So the method I use is that I use a lot of friction to get the bell warm so that the chalk will stick. So before you even put any chalk on, you're going to use just the palm of your hand and you're going to rub onto the bell to get it warm. So this friction is going to let you stick your first layer of chalk. So it's going to take a few layers. And at first it's not going to seem like it's sticking too well. But once you really start to work on it, it's going to start to stick. Now, this takes a while. Honestly, when you're first starting, it might take you like 20 minutes to get a good layer of chalk on the bell. As you get better at it, you'll get faster. And it depends on the type of bell you're using. Some bells hold chalk a lot better than others. We're going to keep applying that friction. This works best when you're kind of warm and sweaty, like after a warm-up, or even, in my case, if you're sweaty after doing a set. It means your palms are already pretty warm, and it's going to be easier to get that heat on the bell that's going to get it to stick. One thing you do have to be careful of is you don't want to rip your hand chalking the bell. So make sure that you're kind of using this outside part and just rubbing it until that chalk begins to stick. Now, the main mistake people make is they're not quite working hard enough when they're chalking the bell. So you have to be sure that you're really applying a lot of pressure to get it to stick. So now we're starting to get a nice first layer on the bell. And once you get that first layer, you can just keep working on it layer by layer until it starts to thicken up, until you get a nice white sheet here. So it's starting to get better. A little bit of a thicker layer. How much chalk you need is really going to depend on the weight of your bell, what lift you're doing. So if you're lifting long cycle, you might not necessarily need a ton of chalk. If you're snatching, especially when you start to snatch the heavy bells, you're going to want a whole lot of chalk. So we're starting to see a nice smooth white layer here. Another little trick in this corner, how we get that corner there to chalk up, is we're going to use our fingers, just get right in that corner, and again, apply that friction there. From there, once we get it warm, it's going to chalk right up just like the rest. And really don't be afraid to get a little sweaty while you're chalking your bell. It's going to be kind of a workout, especially the first time that you try it. So I've almost got this corner done. This would be probably as thick of a layer as I would need for snatching this green monster, 24K right here. Then I would probably go over and chalk the other side. Ideally, after lifting, your chalk should still mostly be on your bell. If you've got technique, the proper technique, you don't want the chalk to get ripped off by your hand. Probably means you're gripping the bell too hard. But in case you are lifting some sweaty conditions, this chalk is going to help prevent your hand from slipping. So there we go, nice chalked corner of the bell for you. If you have any questions about chalking or you need more advice, let me know. Thanks for following.